Okay, so I know it seems like you're struggling, like, with your relationship and like marriage, but it seems like with your work and transitioning to going back to school, like that takes its toll on you also.
Yes.
How are your like relationships like with your coworkers and that? Do you feel like you
Okay, so that's like, and that's another thing that I feel like he doesn't realize like what I'm giving up. So I worked in surgery for 3 years, loved it. I loved my job. I loved going there every day. Um, like I had like a ton of friends, which I still do. You know, like I still call them. You know, I still have relations with them. But I just transferred last week.
okay.
So, to neuro ICU, which I can't tell anybody there why I'm transferring because otherwise they would feel like they're a stepping stone, you know. So when I interviewed, they were like, "Oh well, you know, how long do you know, why did you want to leave surgery?" And I can't tell them, "Hey, it's just because I want to get into anesthesia school." It's like, "Oh, you know, like which is true. Like I wanted to learn more nursing assessments and stuff like that because surgery is like a completely different beast."
Yeah.
So like everything that I learned in nursing school, basically a lot of that throw it out the window because that's not how surgery is. So I'm really excited to be in critical care, you know, ICU,
Yeah.
because like I get to learn a lot again. You know, I'm not stagnant. Like I feel like I'm progressing. I'm moving forward again with my life. You know, to move on to something else. But it's hard because like I'm back at being the underdog where like I would educate, like I was a preceptor at surgery, like I would educate people, I would train a lot of the new people, I would like I just it was comfortable, I like it was so easy to me. And now coming here it's like a completely different ball game, you
It's
know.
like reversing the role
It
again
is.
completely.
And you feel I feel like I'm not like an asset yet to the unit, which is normal, you know.
Yeah.
So like I can't wait till I'm at that point, but I don't think he realizes like what I'm giving up to move forward to get to where I want to be with anesthesia, you
Yeah.
know. And like I've tried to kind of describe it, but I don't think he would get it until he had to transition a job to further himself, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think a lot of people can actually like truly say like I love going to my job, like I don't hate it, you know. So it really was like gold there, but hopefully I'll end up back there after anesthesia. So, well, you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, have you? So probably now, like with your support from like coworkers and that,
Mhm.
you're just in the new ball game. So you really haven't met like new acquaintances or
Not really. I mean, there's
that
like,
have been on like a similar boat as you.
well, no, I mean, well, in surgery, and I think this is like what pushed me to really do it was a lot of people told me I should go to be a nurse because I
Oh,
worked with a lot of nurse anesthetists, you know, and there was a couple doctors who told me I should go to school to be a nurse anesthetist, you know, so I could come back and work there. So yeah, like I mean, but I like and I know like it's hard financially. It's hard, and a lot of people go through like finances, especially with like nursing school, because to be the program itself is $90,000, not including like anything else.
oh, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like not working, like I haven't not worked since I was 16, so like relying on not only loans for school but possibly loans for like our home, like is
Yeah.
stressful. On top of like passing all my classes.
So do you think maybe your husband sees it as like we know that you're like moving forward in your career and you're going to try to get a better position, but do you ever feel like he sees it like, okay, we have this loan for our house,
Yeah,
mortgage and whatever, and then like we have a $90,000 student loan. Like,
right.
do you feel like he sometimes just sees like more the negative
No, I don't
ends?
think so. Like because I've told him like how much we make, how much I would be making per year, so he knows it would get paid
Okay.
off right away. But I think he knows that like because he was with me during nursing school, like I think he knows like the stress that I could be under, and so maybe like he sees that, but also like there comes like I don't know, cause like I mean we're getting old. I mean we're not old, getting older, but I mean we are. But like we're only 26, You know, so like of course we're gonna want to start a family soon, but I really can't if like during school. Like there's no way, you know.
You
So
have a lot on your plate then, studying and
children. Yeah,
yeah,
no, that's like
too much.
and especially like you know if it was him going to school, that'd be a different thing because I'd be the one carrying the child.
Yeah.
But with me going to school, I can't carry the child, then give birth and feed the child and you know nurture it, which is also I guess kind of sexist too, but but yeah. So I think it's hard for him because everyone around us is having kids and you know, so it's like it's a good and a good and a bad, you know. But then like he says he understands and he's like no, this is good because it gives us more time to be just husband and wife. So he's trying to understand me too.
And that's important because that's what I was going to ask you as well. Is he like anxious to have kids because, you know, we're that age is where friends start having
kids.
Yeah, it's common and you start seeing that and like you kind of crave that and like want that also for yourself.
Yeah.
But he understands where you're at and that you want to you know, you're comfortable waiting till like you're done with school.
Right.
Yeah. But I see like just you keep or we keep talking about like your concern like having kids or not necessarily having but like you know when it's gonna be a decision a stay-at-home dad or like a stay-at-home mom, it seems like this seems to be like really on you or
it is and it isn't because I mean nobody has well okay his cousin is actually a stay-at-home dad, but his cousin has, and it's not. I mean, there's like a whole backstory. Like his cousin has PTSD really bad.
Oh.
He was one of the first people in Iraq. Like he has it still really bad, but so of course he gets aid from the government, and he went to college, and he also like he sells coins and stuff, and like I mean he's just like a barterer. He's always been that his whole life, but he had his own coin shop too, but that closed down. But so I think Dan sees Dustin, which is his cousin, being a stay-at-home dad, and like Dustin is actually really good at it because you know like you don't see a lot of dads just like being home dads, and Dustin's actually like a really good father. Like he doesn't get angry with his kid. Like he's like really good and like he's just a good dad. So I think Dan sees that. He's like, oh well, you know, and I like part of me like. I know he says he's joking, but like there's always like a little bit of truth within that joking. So I feel like he wouldn't mind being a stay-at-home dad, but like he would get too much shit from my family and his family. So I don't think that would ever truly happen.
And for you,
there's no way. I mean, if I'm making that much money, like there would be no way that I could possibly ever stay home. Which I mean, I would love to, but it's not possible.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, like that's like a luxury now.
Definitely. Yeah. But I mean, it's getting more common.
Yeah.
Like this damn. But I definitely see where we're just like used to like this culture.
Yeah.
It's like the mom and like because she just provides like this nurturing environment and
right. And well like and it's all physical. Like I mean, not only like mentally, so you're nurturing this child, but you are making the food for the baby. You're carrying the baby. You know, it's like no matter what, I don't think we'll ever socially get away from the mom being the nurturing parent just because it's like, it's just nature, you know?
Yeah.
But it really does like affect your way of thinking as you're getting older, you know, because like establishing a career or having a child, like you see how like CEOs, like big women CEOs, like how they like totally compromise having children because they want to build their career.
Yeah. So. Definitely. And how would you say like, I mean, his parents were, your husband's parents, like, well, did you see like their family
dynamic?
Yeah.
Okay, so which is, and I think that's why maybe he doesn't know, like. So basically, his mom was a stay-at-home mom for the longest time, and then like once they grew up, she started working at Jewel, and she doesn't make anything really. Like, I mean, it's horrible. And she works like all the time, but she barely makes like a living wage. His dad works for I forgot who he works for, but he makes good money. He's able to support him. They're divorced.
Oh, okay.
His sister Angie doesn't work, stay-at-home mom. She went to school for hair. She went to California, did the whole shebang. And when she was like 30, and after having like 3 kids, she decided that she's retired, even though she was cutting hair out of her house. So, and then his sister Katrina is a stay-at-home mom, even though she went to mortuary school with her husband, and that's how they met. And they have like, I mean, that costs a lot of money, but
yeah.
she's not using that degree whatsoever. And then Tony, his other brother, works for Budweiser, so, and he makes like, you know, 50 or whatever, or less per year. So I think he's just like, he's in this like, I guess he sees how his like siblings are doing, and he's like, oh, well, we're not doing bad, which we aren't, but like Katie and Angie have husbands that make a lot of money, you know, because mortician, like he works in Orland. You make a lot of money,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And Angie, her husband, is like not president, but he's like vice president of Cooper's Hawk. So he makes a lot of money. You know what I mean? So it goes like back and forth. Like I could see how he's like, no, we're doing okay. But on the other hand, like if his sisters are doing better, you would think it would push him to do better.
Yeah.
'Cause
and it seems too like that trend. It seems like one of them in like the relationship.
Yes, it doesn't.
So he's thinking since it's you,
I don't know.
or that it just seems maybe like
he doesn't have to try as hard.
Yeah, because there's like that trend. Like, well, one
is the breadwinner, and the other one kind of makes money here and there. Yeah.
Yes. So for him to understand that it's more like of a team effort, not just
one-sided.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's where I'm struggling is the effort part of it, because he says he understands, but then like, which I think he does sometimes, but then like, but actions are, like I like expect actions out of him, and maybe sometimes like me putting like a time frame on it, like, because it's just how I am. Like, I want action now, where he moves at like a very much like slower pace than I do.
Yeah.
So maybe that's unfair of me. I don't know.
And like when he like responds, or when you're like trying to communicate, I know you mentioned something before, like you notice that he's like more angry.
Yeah, because I mean, because I think he's angry that I think that of him. Like, he's upset that I would think that he's not trying, or that, like, I say that I'm trying harder than him. And like, I am trying to be, like, more careful with my words, because, words do hurt,
Yeah.
And, like, it's not like we're just, like, boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, now it's, like, I really have to, like, like I cared before, but now it's like it truly means more, because now we're husband and wife. Like, it is like you have to be one, and you have to be a team.
Yes, you're spending the rest of your life together,
right,
and setting like a foundation.
Right, and like I don't want us to start fighting right away in our marriage over money. It's stupid,
Yeah.
So it's hard.
And it's probably something that you want to get resolved before you have kids, so
yes.
It doesn't go on then, and
right, because I don't want to fight in front of our kids. Like, nobody wants that,
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we'll continue off in our next session, but thank you for coming today.
Well, thank you. I don't know. It was a good session. I feel better.